Good afternoon, everyone. We will be starting the program at 3:45 p.m. To give us an idea, the following shall be the flow of today's program. First, the program will start with the welcome remarks from the Step Up project leader. We will then meet the members of Batch 1 of the Step Up Scholars. It will be followed by a presentation on the Maya-3 and Maya-4 development. The JAXA live stream program proper will start at 4:55 in the afternoon. And finally, we shall hear the remarks and messages of some panelists. Before we start, may I share with you a few reminders to everyone. For non-speakers, kindly keep your video off. Mute your microphone, and if there are any queries, clarifications, or comments, kindly send them through the chat box. Thank you. Good afternoon. The program will start in 10 minutes. Flow of the program, as you can see on your screen. First, a welcome remarks from the Step Up project leader. It will be followed. You will then meet the members of Batch 1 of the Step Up Scholars. Then it will be followed by a presentation of the Maya-3 and Maya-4 development. Then the live stream program proper from JAXA will start at 4:55 in the afternoon. And finally, we shall hear the remarks and messages of some panelists. Before we start, may I share a few reminders to everyone. For non-speakers, kindly keep your video off, mute your microphone, and if there are any queries, clarifications, or comments, kindly send them through the chat box. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. The program will start in 5 minutes. The program flow as shown on our screen. It will start with the welcome remarks by Step Up project leader. Then we shall meet the members of Batch 1 of the Step Up Scholars. It will then be followed by a presentation on the Maya-3 and Maya-4 development. Then the JAXA live stream program proper will start at 4:55 in the afternoon. And lastly, we shall hear the remarks and messages of some panelists. Before we start, may I share a few reminders to everyone. For non-speakers, kindly keep your video off. Mute your microphone, and if there are any queries, clarifications, or comments, kindly send them through the chat box. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this virtual program for the deployment of Maya-3 and Maya-4 from the International Space Station. We hope you are all safe and doing well. Hi, my name is Christy Raterta, one of the Batch 1 Step Up Scholars, and I will be your host for the day. Before we begin, I would just like to share some reminders. Please make sure that you mute your audio during the presentations. We would like to acknowledge the presence of our S4S program leader, Dr. Maricor Soriano, and Stamina 4 Space project leaders. The University of the Philippines Diliman Chancellor, Dr. Fidel Nemenso, PhilSci Director General Joel Marciano Jr., PhilSci Deputy Director General Gay Jane Perez, DOST SEI Director Josette Dio, and all our esteemed guests. To officially start the program, we would like to introduce the project leader of the Step Up project, Engineer Paul Jason Ko.
Thank you, Christy. So, University of the Philippines, Diliman Chancellor Dr. Fidel Nemenso, Philippine Space Agency Director General Joel Marciano, PhilSA Deputy Director General Gay Jane Perez, Stamina 4 Space Program Leader Dr. Maricor Soriano, DOST SEI Director Josette Dio, the Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Jose Faustino Jr., our colleagues from UP, from DOST, from Stamina 4 Space, and the armed forces and friends from the Armed Forces of the Philippines. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this viewing of the deployment of Maya-3 and Maya-4, our country's first university-built satellites. Today is the culmination of the efforts of the Step Up Batch 1 scholars as we see the fruits of their 2-year-long journey in the development of Maya-3 and Maya-4. It has been a long and difficult task filled with challenges, but they have persevered, and that is why we are here right now. It has been a long time coming, and I'm sure that all of us have been excitedly waiting for this day to come. Later, as we watch as Maya-3 and 4 are released from the ISS and begin their mission, let us not forget that this is but one stop in our country's ongoing odyssey to space. Before I turn you over to the engineers who developed Maya-3 and Maya-4, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the Stamina 4 Space program and the Step Up project. The Stamina 4 Space program is a space research and development program funded by the Department of Science and Technology and implemented by the DOST Advanced Science and Technology Institute and University of the Philippines, Diliman. The program focuses on further development of local expertise and space technology and applications to spur the development of high-value industries in the country and to address our manifold needs in scientific Earth observation for disaster risk reduction management, resource assessment, environmental monitoring, and other applications. Now, the Stamina 4 Space program is composed of 5 projects. Optical, which deals with the development of optical payloads for Earth observation. The PHL-50 project, which deals with the localization of the Diwata 1 and 2 bus system. The Advanced Satellite Development and Know-how Transfer for the Philippines, which focuses more on the development and building of operational satellites. The Step Up project, which I will be talking about a little bit for the next slide, and GRASP, which deals with the downstream aspect, basically the processing of the information that we gather from space. Now, the Step Up project is the project in the program that aims to utilize the gains from the previous PHL Microsat program to further build an enabling environment for interdisciplinary collaboration in the country through engagement with the academy, industry, and other government agencies. Okay, of particular interest is as part of the activities of the project is the nanosatellite development, of which Maya-3 and Maya-4 is a part of. Next slide. Okay. So with that, these are our Step Up Batch 1 scholars who developed Maya-3 and Maya-4. And I would like to request that each of them introduce themselves to our guests today. Christy?
Thank you, Sir PJ. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gladys Baharo. I am responsible for the automatic packet reporting system, Digitwitter mission, and the ground station. I obtained my bachelor's degree in electronics communication engineering from Bicol State College of Applied Sciences and Technology. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Derek Canceran, or you can call me Derek for short. I received my bachelor's degree in applied physics from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and my task in the team is mainly for handling the attitude, determination, and control of the CubeSats. The ADCS is mainly responsible in handling the sensor and orientation data of the satellites, and as well as uh, the tumbling the spacecrafts. In my free time, I enjoy taking pictures on film and cooking. Though hindi ako ganun kagaling magluto, but I enjoy the craft. Thank you.
Hello and good afternoon to our guests. I am Brian Custodio. I am mainly responsible for the design and testing of the antenna used by the Cube satellite. I am also responsible for the testing of the primary mechanism that releases or deploys the antennas once it is in orbit. I, I received my bachelor's degree in electronics engineering from FEU Institute of Technology. That's all. Thank you very much and please enjoy.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Laurie Linda Kiwag. I received my bachelor's degree in computer engineering from the University of Southern Mindanao in Cabacan, North Cotabato. I'm responsible for the OBC subsystem, or the brain of the Cube satellites, that ensures the satellite will execute all expected functions, such as sending CW beacons, executing different uplink commands sent by the ground station, ensuring the satellite health, and handling communications between subsystems. I love cooking. Maraming salamat po.
Hi everyone, I am Mariel Magbano Gregorio. I received my bachelor's degree in Electronics and Communications Engineering at the University of Southeastern Philippines, Obrero Campus, Davao City. In this satellite project, I am responsible for the electrical power subsystem of Maya-3 and Maya-4 Cube satellites to ensure that the satellites shall continuously and safely perform their respective missions and functions until their end of life. Also, I handle the solar panel assembly of the satellites as part of the EPS that will sufficiently generate and convert the solar power into DC power supply of the satellite. For my personal information, I'm already married, a mother of two, both girls. My hobbies, I like playing volleyball and also softball. Currently, I am affiliated with the Philippine Navy, Armed Forces of the Philippines, assigned at Naval Research and Technology Development Center, Naval Sea Systems Command. That's all. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Christy A. Raterta. Some call me Chris or Terts. I received a degree of computer science from the College of Computer Studies at the Iligan Medical Center College. I am responsible in the design, testing, and implementation of communication system for Maya-3 and Maya-4 Cube satellites. I am currently affiliated with the Philippine Navy, Armed Forces of the Philippines, assigned at the Naval ICT Center. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Judiel Reyes. They call me here as Jude. So I received my bachelor's degree in electronics engineering from De La Salipa, and I'm one of the assigned members in payload development of Maya-3 and Maya-4 using commercially off-the-shelf components. So I am responsible for the camera mission. This will serve as the eye of the satellite while in orbit. I'm also responsible for the store and forward mission, which enables the satellite to receive and store messages while over one part of the Earth and downlink it later to another part of the group. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Renzo SP. You can call me Renz or just plainly Renzo. I received my bachelor's degree in electronics engineering from Ateneo de Zamboanga University. I am the project manager and I also handle the structure subsystem of the satellite. So basically, the structure subsystem makes sure that the satellites are protected from the harsh space and launch environment. Um, because in space, since it's in low Earth orbit, the satellite experiences either extreme cold or extreme hot temperature. And during launch environment, there's an extreme vibration to the satellite. So a little bit about myself. I love outdoor activities. I love going to the beach, surfing, hiking, the mountains, and others. And at the same time, I also love spending time reading mangas while sipping a cup of coffee in my bedroom, looking at the window, listening to the raindrops. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, team. Now, to present an overview of the development of Maya-3 and Maya-4, we would like to call Maya-3 and Maya-4 Project Manager, Mr. Renzo Wee.
Hello again. Thank you so much, Christy. Thank you to our Thank you to our esteemed guest from DOST, UP, Stamina for Space, Philippine Space Agency, UNISEC Philippines, and our sending institutions for taking time in joining us in this new milestone. So let's talk about Maya 3 and Maya 4. Maya 3 and Maya 4 are the first Philippine university-built satellites designed and developed locally by the first batch of scholars under the STEPA project, the Project 3 of Stamina for Space program. It is funded and supported by the Department of Science and Technology with scholarship grants from its Science Education Institute. It is implemented by the University of the Philippines Diliman Electrical and Electronics Engineering Institute, or UPD-EEI, in collaboration with Kyushu Institute of Technology. The satellite development, or specifically the Maya-3 and Maya-4 satellite development, has the main objective of developing the first locally and university-built satellites. And secondary to that is that to gain knowledge about satellite development and extend locally the knowledge and skills on satellite development acquired from foreign partners. Because, as you can maybe hear from the news, we have started our local space science and technology already with Diwata 1, Diwata 2, and Maya 1. So the knowledges acquired from the schooling abroad and our foreign partners, we have acquired it. Now we are practicing it locally. And also, the utilization of the domestic capabilities for the satellite development. In the photo here, you can see the batch one of Step Up Scholars from left to right. You can see in your flash on your screen, and together with our we call our babies, the flight models of the Maya 3 and Maya 4. So the Maya 3 and Maya 4 cube satellites, or these CubeSats uses the heritage bus of Maya-1, which was built as part of the BIRDS project, the BIRDS 2 project. Our local scholars at the time was Sir Joven Javier and Sir Adrian Salses. So the Maya-3 and Maya-4 CubeSats are mostly identical with difference in mission. So here we can see the stowed state of the flight models. By stowed state, we mean that the antenna is stowed, it is not deployed. Okay, moving on. This is the technical overview of the Maya-3 and Maya-4. It is of nanosatellite class, so meaning it has a dimension of around 10 cubic centimeter and a mass of around 1 kilogram. The beacon frequency is at 437.375 megahertz. So if you tune into that frequency, you can listen to the satellites if passing over us. It will be deployed, as you can see, in the low Earth orbit in the International Space Station. Okay. Talking about the missions of Maya-3 and Maya-4, we have mainly two types of payloads, I mean. The camera payload and the communications payload. So both Maya-3 and Maya-4 has a demonstration mission, technology demonstration mission of image and video capture for RGB camera. And to add to that, Maya-4 has a near-infrared camera. And for the communications payload, we have the APRS, for the communications mission, we have the APRS payload for digipeating demonstration. So both CubeSats are capable of this. And also the technology demonstration of ground data acquisition using store and forward. So for more information regarding the Maya-3 and Maya-4, you can check the website of staminaforspace.upd.edu.ph. Sorry. Under the satellites tab, you can click on Maya-3 and Maya-4 and you can learn a whole lot more about these CubeSats. So everything started, well, for us, the team, that started last January 2019 when we had our kickoff meeting. A couple of months after that, we had our contract signing with DOST SEI. And then we had our mission definition and design review May of that year. So as you can see in our timeline, we have different reviews. So these reviews are necessary so that we can move on to the next phase. So a little lesson about regarding the Maya-3, regarding the satellite development here. So for the mission definition review, we define the mission, or we define what the satellite should do. And then based from that, and then we will base our design from that. So after that, we had our preliminary design review. So for the preliminary design review here, based from our definition of mission, we will design from this, and then the design will be reviewed, and then for inputs regarding this design and how to better it and how to improve it. It's all discussed here in the preliminary design review, so that we can move on to the next phase, which is the critical design phase. During the critical design phase, we have the quality acceptance testing, quality testing, quality space environment testing. So with the help of the BIRDS-4 Philippines team in Japan, we were able to conduct the engineering model space environment qualification testing. And during this time, we were continuing the flight model assembly and testing. Now, since during this time, access to the lab was limited due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we also designed a remote control system with a combination of a tool software that the team developed, the CubeSat, and others to continue the satellite development. After that, we have successfully conducted a critical design review. So after the CDR, the flight models were then shipped to Japan in preparation for the flight models space environments acceptance testing, of the team in QTech last December 2020. So during this test, there are two major tests, which is the thermal vacuum testing and the vibration testing. So this is to simulate the environment wherein the satellite will be exposed to. So for the thermal environment testing, that's for the extreme cold and extreme hot temperature in the low Earth orbit. So we tested the satellite for that environment, and also for the vibration is for during the launch. So we have to make sure that the satellite will not be torn apart and cause damage to the rocket, to the other satellites, to the other payload of that rocket, and would not cause harm to the astronauts themselves. So after conducting the environment acceptance testing, the space environment acceptance testing, we have submitted the necessary documents, and after passing all the various reviews, we turned over the CubeSats to JAXA last February 2021 with the help of the Birds4 Philippine team and Kyushu Institute of Technology. Sorry. The satellites were then launched to space last August 2021 aboard the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, the Dragon C208, as part of the SpaceX Commercial Resupply Mission 23, or the SpaceX 23 mission. And that brings us to today, the deployment of the Maya-3 and Maya-4 satellites from the International Space Station. So before I end my presentation, on behalf of the team, sorry, on behalf of the team, let me take this opportunity to thank everyone who helped us all throughout the Maya-3 and Maya-4 satellite development, especially to the Stamina for Space Project 3 Step Up and the University of the Philippines Diliman Electrical and Electronics Engineering Institute. We would like to extend our gratitude to Doc Soriano, the program leader of the Stamina for Space, and the Director General Marciano, the S4S program leader then when we started the project, for giving us this opportunity, this once in a lifetime opportunity. Well, I hope it's not once, but for giving us this opportunity to develop these CUBE satellites. Let me also express our gratitude to Sir Paul Jason Ko, the project leader of Step Up Project. He's really is understanding to us, leading us, and giving us the push that we need to continue the satellite development. As he shared earlier, the development wasn't a joke. It was riddled with challenges, but with the help of everyone, we overcame it, and now we're here to this day. We would also like to thank Ms. Mean and Sir Joven for being our hands-on mentors, and to all our other mentors for guiding us. Also to Birds4 Philippine team and Sir Adrian for assisting us during our space environment testing. So that's include the EM space environment testing and the FM space environment testing. Further, we are grateful to the support that we receive from different organizations behind this project, the Step Up Project, the Stamina for Space, especially to the project leaders, Ma'am Jean, Sir Ning, Sir PJ, Sir Mark, and Ma'am Gay, dear SCI for the scholarship support, the Philippine Navy for lending us communication equipments, DICT and PARA for the assistance in the frequency coordination, the UST ASTI, UST PSHERD, the Laboratory of Lean Satellite Enterprises and In-Orbit Experiment or LASAIN of Kyushu Institute of Technology, of course, the University of the Philippines Diliman, especially to the UP-EEI and the Philippine Space Agency for their support. Finally, to the team for going above and beyond, thank you so much. As you can see, the satellite development is a bayanihan of various people and organizations. So it is safe to say that Maya-3 and Maya-4 is not just a satellite made by the team, but it's the child of the Philippine nation as a whole. And this success is the nation's success. This is our satellite. Let's savor this victory and Cheers. Thank you so much, Christy.
Thank you, Renzo, for that presentation. Before we move on with the program, we would like to invite the panelists for a quick photo opportunity. May we request you to briefly turn on your cameras so we can take some photos. My teammate Derek will be taking the photos. Derek?
All right, let's just wait for everyone to turn on their cameras. Okay, maybe we can take the photo now. So, ready your smiles, because I will be taking your pictures in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and another one in 3, 2, 1. All right, and for the last one, 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you everyone. And you may now close your cameras.
Thank you, everyone. We will be moving on to JAXA's live stream in a couple of minutes. You can see the guide on the screen. The deployment program from JAXA will start at 4:45 p.m. and the deployment will happen at around 5:20 p.m. We can have a short break and get back before 4:50 for the deployment program. Thank you. Once again, the deployment program from JAXA will start at 4:45 p.m. and the deployment will happen at around 5:20 p.m. We can have a short break and get back before 4:50 for the deployment program. Thank you.
Hello, hello, hello.
We will be moving on to JAXA's live stream in a couple of minutes. At 4:45 p.m., JAXA will stream videos about JSOD and history of small satellites, and clips on Binar and Step Up or Bridge 2S satellites, the Maya-3 and Maya-4. It will then followed by the call on deployment order. Maya-3 and Maya-4 will be subsequently deployed from the ISS. Messages from selected panelists will be delivered after the deployment. Lastly, a replay for today's deployments will be shown. Thank you.
What's missing? The nice thing about CubeSats is that they all really look very similar. So one could write a simulator for CubeSats, and then you could
We will now move on to the Japan Aerospace Agency or JAXA's live stream program for the deployment of Maya-3 and Maya-4. As shown on your screen are the activities that will be conducted. At 4:50, videos about the JSOD and history of small satellites will be shown. At 5 p.m., videos about Binar 1, Birds 2S, Maya-3, and Maya-4 satellites will be presented. At 5:15 will be the call on deployment order. At 5:20, Maya-3 and Maya-4 will be deployed from the ISS. It will be followed at 5:25. Messages from selected panelists. And at 5:40 will be a replay for today's deployment. The deployment proper at around 5:20 will be hosted by the developers of the Maya-2 Cube satellite, Engineer Mark Purio, Engineer Israel Bautista, and Engineer Marlon Sehera. We will now switch to the JAXA live stream program.
地球上空およそ400キロを周回する ISS 国際宇宙ステーション。世界15カ国が参加する国際協力プロジェクトで、ここでは宇宙飛行士が日々さまざまな実験を行っています。その進行方向に位置するのが希望日本実験棟。この映像は希望ロボットアームに取り付けたカメラで撮影されたもの。いわば希望の自撮りですね。このロボットアームを使用しておよそ1キロのキューブサットから50キロ級までの超小型衛星を地球周回軌道に投入できる仕組み、それが小型衛星放出機構 JAXA です。では JAXA とはどのようなものか CG を使ってご紹介しましょう。超小型衛星の放出準備は希望の船内実験室で宇宙飛行士が行います。それでは JAXA の仕組みを詳しく見ていきましょう。JAXA を載せる実験プラットフォームにはエアロックテーブルへの取り付け構造と船外でロボットアームがつかむ構造があります。今点滅しているのが衛星搭載ケースです。中には10センチ角の小型衛星が3個分収納できます。こちらは分離機構です。分離機構が動くとドアが開き、スプリングによって小型衛星が放出されます。さて、搭載準備が終わったようですね。エアロックを通して小型衛星放出機構を外に出します。エアロックの中の様子は窓から確認できます。それでは衛星放出の様子を外から見てみましょう。希望船内実験室のハッチが開き、小型衛星放出機構が出てきました。希望ロボットアームが動き出しました。ロボットアームはしっかりとプラットフォームの先端をつかみ、このまま 小型衛星放出位置までゆっくりと移動していきます。小型衛星放出機構は ISS の進行方向と逆側で斜め45度下の方向に向けられます。放出の様子はロボットアームに取り付けられたカメラで撮影することができます。さあ、小型衛星放出機構が放出位置にセットされました。まもなく放出です。ドアが開き、スプリングによって押し出された小型衛星が放出されました。放出された衛星は1年程度地球を周回することができます。2012年以来、JAXA は日本国内だけでなく海外にもたくさんの衛星放出機会を提供してきました。超小型衛星は補給船を使って ISS に運ばれるため打ち上げの機会が多く、条件も厳しくありません。また低コストかつ短期間で衛星を作れるため、人材育成を目的とした教育ツールとしても利用されています。2021年からは小型衛星開発に関する技術の提供と、よりチャレンジングな衛星開発・放出の機会提供を大学宇宙工学コンソーシアムと協力して実施し、持続的な人材育成を進めます。人材育成パッケージとしての提供も目指しています。さらに2018年からは放出機械の提供サービスを民間企業が担い、より一層の利用拡大を図っています。 JAXA は国際貢献、人材育成、そして新たな宇宙ビジネスの創出の場として世界からも注目されているのです。
Keep us 60 seconds. Altitude. Drop is still nominal. Everything go.
The Bina Space Program is named for the Noongar word for fireball, which ties us back to our heritage in the Desert Fireball Network.
So this spacecraft here, we've combined it all into one smaller payload, which we're going to use to integrate some of our payloads for our PhD and also future space missions.
And by designing that all at Curtin, we have the opportunity to produce as many as we want to, which means we can explore a lot of opportunities for missions for Western Australia to inspire science and research, and also take on technology challenges in space.
For us as engineers working on Maya-1, for the past few years we've essentially tried to compress everything that you would normally need to make a spacecraft function into a single 8-layer circuit board. We want to reuse as much of this hardware and the software that's running on board with our future spacecraft that we'll be launching. And so for us, Maya-1 is really going to offer us an opportunity to see if our stuff works in space. Is the hardware that we've made, is the software that we've written able to function on orbit?
Maya-1 operates in the amateur band, specifically in the UHF frequencies, and we've been collaborating with local amateur groups, local high schools, and amateurs around the world to be able to, so that they are able to listen to our satellite and obtain telemetry information as it passes overhead.
One of the main workings that we've done with Space PD is delivering a safe battery pack that we've designed ourselves to the ISS. Part of this process has involved vacuum testing and vibration testing, all capabilities that we've built up here at Curtin University to do the testing ourselves.
It's been a real pleasure working with Space BD on Maya-1. It's really been like having a team spread across the two countries. It's been a great time getting to know our colleagues. We're really grateful for the Daruma that they sent to us out ready for the mission. And this is just the first mission that we're doing with Space BD. We have 6 more satellites across 2 launches planned with Space BD, and we very much look forward to working with them continuing into the future. 本当にありがとうございます、Space BD。お疲れ様です。
The team feels extremely excited that Maya-3 and Maya-4 will soon begin its orbit. As the first locally and Philippine university-built satellites, this development marks a significant milestone in our country's timeline of initiatives in space science and technology. It shows that we are already capable of developing satellites domestically. This is all thanks to the continuous efforts of various people passing the proverbial torch from one to another. Knowledge and skills learned abroad being proliferated to Filipinos here and now in the Philippines. In the future, the team hopes to become assets of the Philippines space science and technology sector and contribute by sharing our knowledge and experience to the next satellite builders. We are humbled by the opportunity of having our satellites deployed from the Japanese Kibo module, and for the collaboration with Japan through the Kyushu Institute of Technology and the BIRDS project. We are also grateful for the Kibo module and its significant role in the Philippines' space journey.
0, ignition, and liftoff.
Cargo Dragon takes flight, continuing a busy year of deliveries to a crew of 7 aboard the International Space Station.
Thank you.
We are live. Can you hear us?
Elmer. Ayos ba? Hindi nakakasya. Basta pala naka-blue lahat eh, oh. Okay. Silver mo ako ng jacket na dyan. Jacket para itim sa face. Blue, black. Ano yung makatabi? O, dalawang blue sa likod. O, yun, tama, blue, black. O, black dito. Ay. Yan. Tapos, dito. Gilbert, dalihan mo. Yan. Dito. Ayun. Okay. Ganda ng kombinasyon. Puro black eh. Yes po.
Hello for the Australia. This is JAXA flight director. We'd like to ask your final goal for satellite deployment from Launcher 1. The representative of Bina 1 from Australia, are you ready?
It's Bina 1 and we are ready. Let's go!
Copy that. And for the Philippines, this is JAXA flight director, and we'd like to ask your final goal for satellite deployment from Launcher 1 as well. The representative of both 2S, Maya-3 and Maya-4 from Philippines. Are you ready?
I am Secretary de la Peña from the Philippines. Maya-3 and Maya-4, we are ready. Go!
Copy all. Thank you very much. The deployment will be on time.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mark, and I'm joined by Marlon and IC here in Japan. We will talk or we'll walk you through as we witness the deployment of Maya-3 and Maya-4 CubeSats. From now, I will hand it over to IC for some information while we are waiting for the sending of the command. IC.
Yes, Mark, thank you. So right now, the ISS is between Africa and South America, and the countdown has started before sending the command. So as we can see there, there's 3 minutes more before the release command is sent to the International Space Station. So once received by the module, the pod will then open, and a spring inside the Kibo module will push the satellites into space to begin their journey. Typically, these cube satellites deployed in this ISS orbit revolve the Earth around 1 to 2 years before they come back to Earth and eventually burn as they re-enter our atmosphere. So after 30 minutes upon deployment, the satellites would deploy their antennas and they would start transmitting their beacon, which is the first sign of life for the satellite. So here in QTech, we are, I think, the first ones to receive the beacon from the satellites once they pass over at around, I think, 6:50 in Japan Standard Time. So we'll be the first ones to see if we have our satellites working in space. So hopefully everything goes fine, and I wish the team luck, good luck. So 1 minute until sending the command. So from experience, there's around 15 to 20 seconds delay from the time that the deploy command is sent until we see the satellites actually deployed from the satellites from the International Space Station. So it's just a few seconds before the deployment. Hopefully everything continues to go well. Okay, command has now been entered. So in a few seconds, we will see Maya-3 and Maya-4 start their flight in space. There you go. So the 3 satellites have been finally deployed from the International Space Station. So if you're tuned in the YouTube channel of JAXA, here. Congratulations to the team. Mabuhay.
Ayun, ang bilis. Parang hindi ko man hindi ko naabutan But congratulations po. Nice. Congratulations. Congratulations. So right now, the Maya-3 and Maya-4, along with Maya-3, along with the Binar satellite, is currently orbiting after a successful deployment. We are delighted to announce that Maya-3 and Maya-4 are now orbiting space. from ISS. Mabuhay, Pilipinas. The antenna will be deployed after 30 minutes while the first signal will be transmitted over the Russian landmass. Consequently, the satellites will pass at around 5:53 p.m. Philippine time here in QTech, Japan, and our team will communicate with Maya-3 and Maya-4 through our ground stations. Thank you for joining us, and we congratulate everyone who made this momentous event successful. And also follow the Facebook and of Stamina for Space for updates for amateur radio enthusiasts who we hope also that you could help us track and receive the signals of Maya-3 and Maya-4. Thank you and congratulations.
station, and I just wanted to congratulate the successful deployment of Binar-1, Birds 2S projects, Maya-3 and Maya-4. Congratulations. For the Binar space program, I just heard that your satellite is the first one in Western Australia. Congratulations. And for the Stamina 14, I heard this is your student's first development. It is a great moment in the Philippines that your satellite bridged to international cooperation. And it's an honor to be involved in and witness such a historical moment with you. I hope the success of your mission brings hope and joy. Wish you all the best and good luck.
We at the Stamina for Space program send our proud congratulations to our Step Up scholars for the launch of the first pair of CubeSats, Maya-3 and Maya-4, entirely made at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. These scholars, namely Gladys Pajaro, Renzo Wee, Lorilyn Dakiwag, Brian Custodio, Christy Raterta, Judiel Reyes, Mariel Gregorio, and Derek Canceran, coming from different parts of the Philippines, have joined together to make this milestone a success. Building and operating something as complex as a satellite requires meticulous planning, rigorous design, and testing subsystems, and lots of support. Thus, we thank the Department of Science and Technology for funding our program, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, and Kyushu Institute of Technology for the joint global multi-nation birds satellite project. We are immensely grateful to both our Philippine and Japanese mentors for guiding our scholars. It is our aim at Stamina for Space to gain mastery in building and operating satellites, to spread this know-how, and thereby give the very best service to our fellow Filipinos. We look forward to gaining more confidence to innovate in this field in order to support our nascent Philippine Space Agency. Mabuhay Maya 3 and 4, mabuhay Step Up Scholars.
In behalf of the University of the Philippines, Diliman, I join everyone in celebration of the launch of Maya-3 and Maya-4. We are proud of these CUBE satellites, which were the first to be built by Philippine universities as part of our Stamina for Space program. Our university has followed this pioneering journey of our faculty, students, and researchers into space. This, too, is a journey of partnership between different universities, between academia and government, between Philippine and Japanese universities. Through the Stamina for Space program, we wish to help other universities in the country to develop their own space engineering programs. This is a multiplier program. What we want to see is a program of national impact on Philippine universities and our industries to meet our country's needs in weather prediction, disaster risk reduction, resource assessment and planning, food and agricultural security, environmental monitoring, and other applications. And so as co-implementing institution of the Stamina for Space program, UP Diliman is able to fulfill its mandate of doing research and development and partnering with government and other universities to help build a strong national R&D community. As I have said, during the launch of the microsatellites Diwata 1 and Diwata 2, this project of building our own satellites has the power to inspire students and young children to study space, science, and engineering. This will help break down psychological barriers for many young and aspiring scientists. Space technology is no longer something we just read in books and see in movies. Space is no longer the exclusive territory of advanced industrial countries and superpowers. Space is something within our reach, especially with support from government and the public and our partners. So again, congratulations to our graduate students, our scientists, and engineers for the launch of Maya-3 and Maya-4. And thank you to our partners in this journey, our colleagues in Japanese universities, and our Department of Science and Technology. Maraming salamat sa inyo lahat.
on behalf of the Philippine Space Agency, or PhilSA, I would like to congratulate the members of the Space Science and Technology Proliferation to University Partnerships or STEP UP project under the Stamina for Space program for the successful launch of our newest nanosatellites, Maya-3 and Maya-4, into space. This team includes the very first batch ever of local STEP UP space scholars who undertook their master's degree in the University of the Philippines. Today's event also represents the importance of cooperation, commitment, and hard work. It is a showcase of conscientious planning, design thinking, and meticulous execution applied to the challenges of building space. We demonstrate our resolve in building endogenous capacity for space innovation by investing in the Filipino youth and in our valiant Filipino scientists and engineers. Looking back to 2014, as we were beginning our journey in developing small satellite technologies and applications, we saw the value of engaging and partnering with fellow nations with common aspirations in space. As the program leader of the Philippine Microsat program and its successor, the Space Technology and Applications Mastery, Innovation and Advancement, or Stamina for Space program at that time, it was clear that the way to go far and to achieve more in space would be to work with others around us. It was around that time that I learned about the BIRDS project of the Kyushu Institute of Technology, or QTech, and saw that the spirit of community and cooperation fostered by the project was a good match and complement to the Filipino core value of bayanihan, that is, of civic unity and cooperation. Different nations coming together to learn how to build satellites means that they will be helping each other, learning together through the ups and downs, and emerging from it with stronger ties and bonds that will serve them well for future cooperation. The innate goal of the BIRDS project for participating nations is to be able to bring home the know-how and start their own satellites in country, and this resonated with us. Indeed, Maya-3 and Maya-4 benefit from the learnings from Maya-1 and Maya-2 and our interaction with other countries in the QTech BIRDS project. We have nicknamed our CubeSat Maya. In the Philippines, the term Maya refers to folk taxonomy for a variety of common small birds. However, the Philippine Maya was also once the country's national bird. That is until 1995, when it was changed to the Philippine eagle. With our Maya CubeSats, we not only give homage to this colorful small bird, but also convey the wider view that the impact of small satellite technology is now more visible, accessible, and perhaps even becoming ubiquitous in our midst, just like the Maya birds around us. Though small, the capability of these CubeSats to support various space missions is improving rapidly. These platforms have benefited from the commoditization and miniaturization of electronics and computing systems. Placed into orbit in a constellation as a shared resource by several nations, its value becomes greater than the sum of its parts. Indeed, through constellations of CubeSats, we find ourselves in the era of ubiquitous computing in space, no less. And so it has come to pass. Today, we deploy Maya-3 and Maya-4 into low Earth orbit. We are happy and humbled to say that their release into space as the first Philippine university-built small satellites is the culmination of our modest yet earnest attempt to take the next steps to thoroughly apply what we have learned. While we celebrate today's success, it is also important to not lose sight of the setbacks, difficulties, and challenges, because those occasions are replete with more valuable lessons that build robust capability and fortitude. This will allow us to continue building better, to innovate, to add and create value towards bridging, uplifting, and empowering our nation through space. We truly appreciate the valuable cooperation of Professor Mengucho, Dr. Takashi Yamauchi, and Assistant Professor George Maeda, as well as the other staff of Kyushu Institute of Technology's Laboratory of Lean Satellites, Enterprises, and In-Orbit Experiments, or LASAIN, along with the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA. Their support, coordination, and mentorship contributed materially to this milestone. We cite the indefatigable efforts of the leadership and staff of Stamina for Space program and the Step Up project housed at the University of the Philippines Electrical and Electronics Engineering Institute. We acknowledge the Department of Science and Technology and its attached agencies, the Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology Research and Development, or PSEARD, the Science Education Institute, or SEI, and the Advanced Science and Technology Institute, ASTI, for the impetus and wherewithal to pursue and complete this endeavor. The foresight and dedication that the DOST has shared with the country for building space capabilities has helped build a strong foundation for the future of Philippine space and of the PhilSat. Once again, my warm congratulations to the intrepid Maya-3 and Maya-4 development team and all the others involved that made today's nanosatellite launch a truly meaningful and memorable accomplishment. Thank you very much, and mabuhay.
To our distinguished guests and friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to all. This is a very historic and important day because the world has witnessed the deployment of Maya-3 and Maya-4 cube satellites from the International Space Station to outer space. These two CubeSats are the first Philippine University-built cube satellites developed by Filipino scholars. Kudos and congratulations to our Filipino scholars for making this event possible. Through the sponsorship of the Department of Science and Technology's Science Education Institute, these young and vibrant Filipino scholars are able to take up their master's degree studies at the University of the Philippines Diliman's Electrical and Electronics Engineering Institute. They are scholars under the Space Science and Technology Proliferation through University Partnerships Project, or our Step Up project. And this project is in turn a part of the Space Technology and Applications Mastery, Innovation and Advancement Program, which we call Stamina for Space. I would also like to congratulate our great partners, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA, the Kyushu Institute of Technology, QTech, and the BIRDS Project for their invaluable assistance and support. With the recent establishment of the Philippine Space Agency here in our country, I am looking forward for more advancements in the field of space science and technology to infinity and beyond.
Congratulations to the successful deployment of the Maya-3 and Maya-4. I'm delighted to be part of this moment, and I also believe that this deployment has given a lot of courage and hope to the students of the University of the Philippines Diliman, who have developed these satellites. It is a pleasure to support this important mission in cooperation with BIRDS program by Kyushu Institute of Technology. I'd like to express my sincere respect to the members of Maya-3 and Maya-4 project team for their great achievement. Space activity is an exciting endeavor with infinite possibilities. JAXA warmly welcomes the Filipino young generation involved in this mission to join in the fascinating journey in space. We look forward to the future opportunities to work together with you for promoting space activities for humanity. Salamat po.
We are the JSOC team from JAXA Kibo Utilization Center. We completed the successful deployment of BINA-1. We are pleased to announce to you that we are going to send you the certificate of deployment. We wish you the best of luck with the success of your mission. We are the JSOC team from JAXA Kibo Utilization Center. We completed the successful deployment of BIRDS 2S. We are pleased to announce to you that we are going to send you the certificate of deployment. We wish you the best of luck with success of your mission.
We just have witnessed the deployment of Maya-3 and Maya-4 cube satellites from the International Space Station. We would like to thank Engineer Mark Purio, Engineer Israel Bautista, and Engineer Marlon Sejera of the Birds 4 Philippine team for hosting the deployment proper. Before we move on to the final messages, we would like to invite the panelists again for another photo opportunity. May we request you to briefly turn on your cameras so we can take some photos. My teammate Derek will again be taking photos. Derek?
All right. Let's just wait everyone to turn on their cameras. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, I'll take your photos in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then another one in 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay, thank you.
柳田沙耶香です。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。そして一緒にお送りするのは
Thank you, everyone. To leave a few messages, we would like to request the University of the Philippines Diliman Chancellor, Dr. Fidel R. Nemenzo.
イベントも一緒にね行いましたが、それからだいたい5ヶ月ぐらいで、
そうですね、早いもんですね。
Do you hear me?
日程頑張ってくださってるということで、
もう船長として活躍されて、
本当ですよ。今日は楽しみですね。
ね、どんな更新になるんでしょうか。で、前回と違うのがこのスタジオの場所なんです。皆様後ろに見えますでしょうか。
Christy, hello.
は、日本実際との運用管制室なんです。
そうですよね。
はい。
Can you hear me?
運用管制を行っている場所なんです
Yes po, Chancy.
この場所はゆいさんの同期のお二人
も。
大西さんと金井さんもここにねシフトについて。
I hear the Japanese.
方が24時間365日。
Thank you. Gandang hapon sa lahat. No, in behalf of UP Diliman, I join everyone in celebration of the deployment of CubeSats Maya-3 and Maya-4 from ISS into space. No? You know, on occasions like this, I don't know if I'm more excited as a chancellor, a scientist, or as a little boy witnessing adventure into space. Now, I was a little boy when I watched on TV the launch of Apollo 11, the first landing on the moon, and I've always been fascinated with the space and stars. No? I witnessed the launch and deployment of Diwata 1 and Diwata 2 from JAXA as well as Birds 1. I'm so proud of our graduate students coming from different parts of the Philippines who built our most recent satellites under Stamina for Space program. Gaya ng nasabi ko dati, no? This program and its successful deployment of Maya-3 and Maya-4 has the power to inspire our students to study engineering and science. It helps break down psychological barriers for many young and aspiring scientists, no? Because space technology is something within our reach, especially when we collaborate with government and other institutional partners. No? So, but of course, we always say that the development of satellites and the journey of satellites into space is not only an adventure in science and the imagination. This has national impact, and this is something we always need to communicate. This has national impact on our economy, our national efforts to protect our environment, and of course, other important applications. No? Again, congratulations to our graduate students, our scientists, our engineers for the successful deployment of Maya-3 and Maya-4. And I thank our partners in this journey, the Philippine Space Agency. Hello, Director Joel. Our colleagues in Japanese universities, JAXA, and our Department of Science and Technology. Congratulations. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Chancellor.
Thank you po, Chancellor Nemenzo. May we now move on to the next message. Our next message would be from
we would like to ask General Jose Faustino Jr., sir, for a short message.
Lieutenant General Faustino.
May we call on the Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, sir, for your short message, sir.
Okay, let's move on first. May we call on the Director General for the Philippine Space Agency, Dr. Joel Joseph Marciano Jr. DG Joel.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, I already gave a message earlier. I just really want to say thank you for inviting me to be part of this milestone. Um, Congratulations once again to all the scholars and all the team members. I should mention the other members of the team, no? Apart from the scholars, of course, sila Gladys, Derek, Brian, Laurelyn, Mariel, Christy, Judiel, Renzo, PJ Ko, Mara, Mean, Erica, Vanessa, Angelo, Ann, Jeric, JP, Sio, Fiorens, Lance, Lionel, IZ, Mark, Marlon, Joven, Adrian, Delbert, Philip, Aris, Lure, Dr. Achong Hilario, optical team. It takes a barangay, and look at how you guys have grown. There's so many more people who we have to acknowledge for this milestone, but the work continues. Now, let me just say, well, the task of building and mobilizing the PhilSci is very compelling and fulfilling because of the innate challenges and opportunities. Hang on, I'm hearing some celebration. I think I'm hearing, because they're tracking the satellites now, and I heard a bit of a celebration. Maybe it's breaking news, but I'll let the Stamina for Space program do that. No? In my other ear, I'm listening to the other call where they're tracking the satellites now. Seems like good news, but let's wait for that. Now, let me finish quickly. But I always look forward to coming back to the Stamina for Space program and being with your events, because it's kind of a homecoming for me. When one comes home, one feels the warmth and comfort of a familiar and cordial environment. So we remind ourselves that this endeavor right now is still part of a scientific enterprise, one lodged in an academic environment. So as such, I'm sure that this endeavor has imparted many lessons for all of us, which we have taken stock of. So lessons from the things that work, and lessons, perhaps more pricelessly, lessons from things that do not work. So let me quote Winston Churchill. No? Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. I'm very proud, as we should all be, of the scholars and the rest of the team who navigated through intermediate successes and failures and persevered throughout in order to finally reach this milestone today. I congratulate all of you for your hard work, your fortitude, and for taking on this difficult and challenging path. Mabuhay kayong lahat.
Thank you po, DG Joel. Okay, I'll pass on the mic to Christy.
Thank you, Ms. Eka. So to wrap things up, we would like to thank everyone for attending the virtual program for the deployment of Maya-3 and Maya-4 from the International Space Station. On behalf of the Batch 1 of Step Up Scholars, Gladys Pajaro, Derek Canceran, Brian Custodio, Loreline Dakiwag, Maria Magpanwa Gregorio, Judiel Reyes, Renzui, and myself, I would like to thank Stamina for Space program and its Space Science and Technology Proliferation through University Partnerships, or STEP UP project, the Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, DOST SEI, DOST Fishered, University of the Philippines Diliman, DOST Advanced Science and Technology Institute, or DOST-ASTI, UPD Electrical and Electronics Engineering Institute, Kyushu Institute of Technology, and the BIRDS Project, and the Philippine Space Agency. Without you and your support, we would not be able to have this opportunity and represent the country in this milestone. Pages and contact details are shown in the screen if you would need any more information from us or the program. Keep safe and take care. We will now end the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Congratulations again.
Thank you po.
Thank you po everyone, sirs and ma'am.
Thank you.
Salamat.
Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you po. Thank you, sir.
Well done, guys.